morning, everyone. Coach Dwight here at Patriot Jiu-Jitsu. Like I mentioned in my newsletter, I wanted to start sharing some of the exercises that I've been using throughout week 4, 5, and 6 of my post-op ACL rehabilitation. And so I'm going to share this with you. It's really important after we take any kind of injury or surgery to understand that the muscles are going to shut themselves down to prevent further injury and to allow the site to heal. When we are reintroducing something even as simple as walking, it's really important that we develop the correct patterns to create good posture when our foot hits the ground all the way up through our knees and hips. This is going to be really important to redevelop as you're getting back into the motions of being able to walk, squat, move. We're holding off on running for right now. That's going to be a little bit extreme, but here are some of the exercises that I wanted to share with you. I hope that if you're having any kind of knee pain or any kind of hip pain, that you'll take some of these exercises and start incorporating them. Whether or not you've been injured or you feel like you're getting close to injury, even if you want to use these muscles just for your prehab when you show up and you're getting ready to train. These are all great exercises to help develop the muscles in your ankles, your knees, and your hips, so that when you go into play your sport, you're going to have good posture and you're going to have good sequence of your muscles firing. One of the first exercises that I encourage you to start with when you're rehabilitating your lower body is definitely going to be the ankles. We move around on our ankles, and if our ankles don't have good flexion and extension, we're going to have a lot of problems reprogramming our walking pattern. So one of the most regressed forms of this ankle series, I'm going to show you kind of from an angle so you can see. I want to split my legs so that I don't have all of my weight going into both legs or just one leg at the same time. Okay, I'm just going to rock, pull my toes up, press forward, bring my heels up, just like that. Okay, and I start with the leg that was surgically repaired in front. That way I get a little bit of warm up before I switch, put that leg back, and now it's going to be a little more challenging. Bringing my toes up, you can see I'm a little off balance there. It's the first time I'm doing this today. As you get better at those exercises, you'll be able to start bringing your feet together and standing in a square position. I'll show you this from the front. So I pull my toes up, push them back down to the ground. It's going to feel like the leg that had the surgery or the injury is a little bit slower. As long as you don't feel any pain, there's not growing inflammation and swelling, you should be just fine to do these exercises. The next thing that I want to go into is going to be seven-way hip. I encourage everyone to do this, whether you are injured or not injured, or you just want to keep your lower body in good condition and keep your knees working well as stabilizers and your ankles and hips working well as mobilizers. Okay, so for this one, I'm just going to lay down right here. Try to give you guys a good angle so you can see how my leg is moving. The first thing is I want my upper body to be relaxed. I want to be able to just lay on my arm. Bottom leg is going to be slightly bent to give some good balance. And now I don't want to have my leg bent here. I want to reach my heel as far as I can, creating a straight leg posture. Okay, I don't want my toes pointing up. That's going to work the muscles in the front of our hip. We really want to target the muscles towards the back and side of our hip. So I've got my heel reaching, my toes are pointed slightly downwards towards the mat. I'm going to start with just an abduction, so I'm just lifting my leg up. And these exercises, I'm just going to do a few of them each, but as you're working on these exercises yourself, you'll want to go anywhere from 5, 10, 15, 20 reps at a time. Okay, so then we'll come to that forward angle. Again, I'm trying to focus on keeping my legs straight. Front side, then we'll go back side. It's super important that we're keeping our abs tight so we can really access the glute muscles. If I'm bending my back and arching, I'm going to take away from what my glutes are able to do. Okay, then all the way through, front and back. You could do 2 or 3 sets of these a day, 4 or 5 sets. This is an exercise that a lot of people under practice. Okay, each direction. And the last one, make sure you're just very careful about knee flexion. We've got our door kick, so I'm just going to bring my knee to as much flexion as I can, bring my knee up towards my chest, and then reach my heel, bring it back. see I'm missing a lot of flexion out of this leg. Just like so. And you'll do both sides. The order doesn't, I don't have any particular order that I care to enforce too much, but the order that I just did is one of the ones that I use the most, and I found it to work the best for me. The next one I want to go into is 4-way hip standing. So in 4-way hip standing, all I'm going to want to do is I'd like to start on my strong leg, so I'm going to take a slight bend, sort of like a quarter squat, and then I'm going to make my other hip light, okay? I want to keep my toes nice and relaxed. I'm not putting pressure into the mat, and I'm just going to start first with a forward reach. So I reach my heel in front, bring it back. Again, you can do 5, 10, 15, 20. If you're recovering from an injury or a surgery, we'll go out to the side next. You could be targeting higher reps, 10, 15, 20, again, for multiple sets a day, okay? We go back, now we're going into extension of the hip. And again, I'm not putting weight in that other foot, I'm just reaching my leg as far away from me as I can to touch the mat. And across. And again, when you're doing these exercises, make sure that your knee is over your ankle and your hip is sitting behind your leg, not forward, putting all that pressure on that knee joint. I want to show you real quick on the other side what it looks like, just because there's going to be a little less stability on this side. So you can see my quad muscles are even much smaller, just because I haven't done a lot of work on this as far as weightlifting goes and muscle building. So I'm going to keep my ankle, again, underneath my knee. Very important. I'm going to start with my forward reach. And you'll see this is much more difficult for me to do, or I have to concentrate a lot more. There's going to be a lot more shaking and instability. Again, not a huge problem. You're challenging those muscles to build stability in a range that they haven't used or that they've terminated temporarily in order to protect that site. Okay, it's feeling much better already than last week. And that's it, that's our standing 4-way hip series. For our down dog march, I want to show you the regression first, as the regression is going to be most important for people that are recovering or rehabilitating from an injury or surgery, as I mentioned. These are all exercises that I like to use for my rehabilitation practice, and if you have more that you like, please feel free to send them in the comments or contact us and let's talk about it. All right, so I'm just going to move over here real quick so I have something to lean against. It's going to be very difficult for me to put a lot of weight into my ankles right off the bat, so this gives me a little bit of a lighter version. So I have something to lean against. So now I'm trying to push my heels back down to get a stretch in my ankles, okay? I can move back further if I feel there's no pain and I have some good control, maybe a little stretch. Then I'm gonna bend one knee and then bend the other knee, okay? So as you can see, there's not a whole lot of pressure going into my legs. All right, changing the angle is going to put a little more force into your legs. So when we go into these positions, we want to make sure that we're finding easy angles to do it at first before we go into the tougher angles. And I'll show you this from the side. So I'm just going to start in a push-up position here. Okay, I can walk my toes up or I can push my shoulders back. I want to try to get my head going in between my arms here. Then I'm just going to bend one leg and I try to drive my straight leg heel down to the mat. And then I'll switch. Again, just nice, slow, and relaxed. Trying to get a good stretch, but I don't want to push anything too hard. So where I feel my range starts to get a little tight, or in range, I'll lessen the pressure or resistance. A little faster. And that's it. The last exercise I want to share with you that I've been using a lot is our single leg deadlift variation. It's really important that you start with a lighter form of resistance or a lighter challenge stability-wise so that you can protect the muscles around your leg. The easier your muscles are able to work and control the movement, the less stress your ligaments and cartilage are going to take. So I'm going to show you how we regress the single leg deadlift, even for people that are elderly and have back problems, and then I'll go into the single leg deadlifts that I'm working on currently. So I'm going to move back to this bar. So we want to give ourselves a little bit of distance so that I have to reach. So I'm going to start on my surgically repaired leg. I want to be a little far back so that I have to reach. I'm going to use my other leg sort of as a counterbalance. Reach out, try to touch that bar, come back and standing. If my supported foot touches the ground, that's not a huge deal. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm getting good quality reps on the leg that's planted on the ground. And squeezing my glutes to bring myself back up. Okay, don't lift from your upper body. When you squeeze those glutes, it should pull your torso into that upright position. All right, so again, as you get better, there are other ways that you can make this lighter rather than just doing it on one leg without any balancing point. You can post your foot out just a little bit like a kickstand. And then now again, I want to have good posture, hips extended, abs tight. And I'm going to reach down towards my ankle or shin if I can't do that yet. Squeeze the glute muscle back here to pull myself into standing. And again, I'm just trying to get good quality reps. Get my glutes firing. Get my ankles a good stretch, my hamstrings. And there you have it. 5 exercises that will help you in your rehabilitation journey. It is very important to understand that everyone is different sizes, different weights, different abilities, different ages, and so it's important that before you attempt any of these exercises, talk to your doctor, talk to your physiotherapist. I hope you enjoy these exercises. I hope that they help. My #1 goal here at Patriot Jiu-Jitsu is to relieve pain, believe it or not. So if you have any questions, please feel free to send them to me. Throw that like button, that subscribe button a click, and I'm very excited to be releasing more content and helping other people heal and do jiu-jitsu. If you're enjoying our content, please feel free to click like and subscribe so that other people who also want the same type of information can come here and learn and heal and grow together in jiu-jitsu. I look forward to seeing you all on the mats. Please put a comment down there if you have anything to say about our videos. We love hearing feedback from you. Thanks. See you on the mats.